And we are recording. This is the Kubernetes SIG Network meeting for April 4th, 2019. I think we probably want to get started with another round of bug triage.
Yes, this is Minhan speaking. So I will be hosting the bug triage this time. So I'll be sharing my screen. You guys see it?
Yep. Yep, looks good.
Right. So I have opened a bunch of tabs. So let's.
Are we getting echo?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. Sounds good on here.
All right. So let's get started. So the first one, kubelet bandwidth limiting not working. So it looks like a TC problem.
Yep, I responded to that one. Feel free to assign me.
Okay. All right.
And as a reminder for folks, after you volunteer, if you figure out that something's a legitimate bug, then remove the triage unresolved label. Otherwise, we'll revisit next week. So there's a bunch of bugs in our queue today that are going to be revisits from last time. So if you're assigned and you think it's bogus, close it or ask someone to close it if you don't have the access, or remove the label or ask someone to remove the label. And if it's still in progress, it's okay to leave the label.
Okay, next one. Endpoints and pods information are inconsistent in pod IP.
So it's a pretty old version, 1.10.
How sad is it that 9 months is pretty old?
I feel old.
Yeah, that's good because we did not support.
Are there any other follow-ups to this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I see. So this is the like the other bug where endpoint controller will.
We backported that.
But I'm not sure if that goes back to 1.10. Right?
I see. Okay. Can you assign that to me? I'll delegate it to Pavitra who fixed it.
Okay.
Oh, there she is.
Okay.
Can we assign this to you?
So just
P.
Ramesh.
P. PRA.
I can assign to Beeps.
Okay. All right. So.
Cool.
So
thank you.
I'll tell you about it.
Unready pods in service endpoints. Oh,
Yeah.
Looks serious.
What's the version? 1.11. Very baroque.
EKS.
1.11.
EKS shouldn't matter in this case. Can we get a volunteer to see if we can repro or get more details? Volunteers?
Ideally, someone who can use EKS.
Yeah, even better. The triage will continue until all of the bugs are closed.
I can take this one. I already have an EKS cluster for testing.
Who is that?
It's Andrew. Second.
Andrew, can this one? Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
I will also say thank you to all the people. We were looking through bugs this morning. A bunch of them are in active triage and people are following up on them. So thank you.
We know this guy.
Oh, well, so I can take this up. I disabled the test in head, but I probably did not disable it in the older version.
Okay.
I can take it. All right. So, kube proxy NF contract.
If you refresh this one, I think I closed this one earlier.
Okay, it's closed. Okay, next one. So, kube proxy IPVS mode.
With external here to disconnect first. This one had some responses, right?
Nope.
No.
So, anyone has
Oh, sorry.
experience?
Can you jump back to the bottom? Francois was asking about this? Or Laurent, sorry. Laurent, are you here? Okay. This looks like there's questions out on it, I'd say we leave this open for another 2-week session, and if we don't get any traction, we close it.
Proxy related DNS errors. 1.11 EKS.
Probably not related to Q. Oh, Q proxy. Yes. DNS. The two.
You can try and see.
Can we go down? What's this? Liveness probe.
Is it because the kube proxy is dead in the node? Yeah, that's.
Oh, this is adding liveness probe.
All right. The guy's trying to add readiness and liveness.
Oh, here. Oh, there's a PR.
They're hitting DNS error because the queue proxy died and no one restarted.
Okay.
And then the network just not working somehow.
I see.
If it died, shouldn't it restart it no matter what? Or did it like deadlock?
I think. I'm not sure what happened, actually. That's a good point. It should be restarted.
I think we have our assignee.
Seems to be using the daemon section.
Yeah, if they're using the daemon set, I mean, it might make sense to specify the liveness readiness probes for it anyway.
Yeah, that's true. Daemon set. Okay.
Yeah, take that.
Okay. DNS resolution fail occasionally after upgrade.
Looks like it already has an assignee.
Yeah, this is Chris.
Okay,
Is
let's
there
see.
traction?
Nope, 14 days ago.
User hasn't responded. So same, I think we leave it for one more cycle. If we don't get any responses, we close.
Okay. All right.
Does that seem like a good heuristic to people?
Yeah, that's fine.
1 month, no responses from end users, we close?
I think so. It's probably worth trying to bump the thread if you can, though, because people will forget.
Fair point.
Quick question. Do we have enough metrics in IPVS proxy to track this kind of thing? I mean, I know there are metrics in the IP tables proxy, and I'm assuming there are those in IPVS as well.
I don't know the answer to that. Does somebody here know the answer to that?
If not, I can figure it out later.
Okay, it's on you then.
No, I was just curious.
It's assigned to Andrew.
It's a great question.
This one is.
I mean, we do have some for sync proxy rules, but we don't have metrics around specific operations except the giant write everything.
Yeah. If you're going to look at that, it might also make sense to talk with Wojtek and SIG Scalability. They've got some goals around getting better SLIs.
This one basically looks like the one that they're adding. I don't know if they're going to add it to IPVS. Because it's like, I change the endpoint and then it takes X time to
the latency is propagating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you add me on that one? I've been working a lot in this area in the past couple of weeks on the IP tables and user space proxies, so
This
maybe
one?
it's something similar.
The one that you were just on.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
Oh wait, not that one.
No,
It's
not
not this one, right?
Nope. Yeah, I was looking at the IPVS one. Nope.
Nope. Not this one.
no.
Oh, we already talked about this.
73,382. I think it was.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that one. This one right here.
All right.
Thanks, Dan.
Okay, let's close that up. Okay, next one. Services are not accessible through all the masters using no port. Because the masters is not running kube proxy.
Wait.
Oh,
This is how did they set this up? What are they doing? Let's see.
It's bare metal, so
So,
it's
yeah.
entirely possible that they're trying to run kube proxy on the master. Lots of people are doing that.
3 masters.
Okay, can we get a volunteer? Someone outside the normal group?
You could give this one to me.
Who's that, Casey?
Yep.
Thanks, Casey.
Cube spray.
all right. Next one. The ELB security cannot be modified by editing Kubernetes service.
Is this simply because the Amazon controller doesn't propagate that into the security group? Does somebody?
Yeah, actually, I have fixed it in a PR.
Oh,
Is it attached to this?
It's not attached to this. I have already fixed it in one PR.
Cool.
Oh,
Who's this?
Moonfish, yeah.
Fish? Okay. All right. Let me assign it to you. Feel free to close it if you and link the PR, please. Yep.
Sure.
Or remove the triage label.
All right. Cool. Next one. Unidirectional UDP traffic to a node port service is not handling properly.
Oh, is this like what Zihong you found? Oh, I see.
May not be.
This is a contract thing.
Yep. Probably another contract claim. I don't know.
Needs to be weird. But what's the symptom? Oh, I see. It won't keep the entry around because it didn't see a reply on it. This is the rare unidirectional protocol.
Do you want to assign Jacob Tannenbaum to this one?
I'll just spell it. Jacob.
Yep, keep going. A B and then a T.
That's not in your complete list, so.
Oh, shoot. He might not be an org member. Just at him at the bottom.
All right. Jacob.
You got an O there. It needs to be A.
Oh,
Oh, there you got it.
You had it.
Yep,
All right.
there. Perfect. Yep.
Cool. Is he one of your folks?
Yep.
Cool. Get him org membership.
Yeah. Yes, he's asked about that. We should make that happen.
Awesome.
All right. Next one.
Flannel. Anybody flannel smart here?
Wow. Very verbose log.
I could probably take this one too.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Please feel free to farm it out to people who have context.
Which may be wrong. I want to know.
Oh, this is an API server.
Oh.
Is there a PR attached to it?
This one's already assigned.
Yeah, is this even SIG Network? I'm not sure.
Yeah. So
I guess we just need to
take off network there.
Although it's assigned to the person who.
All right.
Okay.
So,
done.
if they want, they can come back. Service no point not working. Very good description.
Is it just a coincidence that there are a number of node port issues coming up here?
I think it's a coincidence because we're back into December 2018 now. So
okay.
Which is awesome. It means we're chipping away at the backlog.
Okay. Is there any other stuff?
Is this IPVS or IP tables proxy?
Didn't say.
All right, volunteer? Someone? Just to probe, follow up, see what's going on?
Sure.
Thank you, Valerie. VLL.
All right, cool. Next one.
Also, thank you for the bot, Valerie.
You're welcome.
API server service port configurable. Is this network?
Nope, I think this is API
whatever.
machinery.
Yeah. Oh wait, but they bumped it to
right,
that,
yeah.
and then what happened?
Jordan unassigned it from API machinery.
And then what happened?
Well, scroll down. Suspense.
Okay.
Wait,
Jordan.
Jordan.
Where they assigned it to SIG Network.
Oh, Kate Spot added it. Oh wait, no.
Why?
SIG Network. It's a CC, I think.
No, we removed API machinery and added network.
Yeah, Jordan added SIG Network.
Okay, so can we get somebody to triage? This does not seem like a SIG Network issue, but I would love for somebody just to poke at it for 5 minutes. All right, we got a volunteer.
5 minutes.
So what's your A something?
And 3. And yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And Fernie.
Okay. All right. Next one. IPVS mode.
Oh, this is an old one.
Become available. Host service.
Oh yes, this is ongoing. This does not need triage. You can remove the triage label. This is a legitimate issue. There's a discussion going on.
All right. Cool. Next one. DMSI pods are being scheduled with duplicate IPs.
Ooh.
What's the provider?
GKE.
Oh, no.
Wait, when was this? Sorry, go back. When was this?
1.11.
Is this one of the fixed issues?
No, it's long time ago.
December 18.
Can we assign somebody to just see if there's follow-up, otherwise close?
I think probably related to Calico, right? Yeah. You see.
Assign to
Okay, I didn't get assigned it. What's your
LZANG.
LZANG? Okay.
You're not a board member?
Oh, so you cannot assign
We'll just mention you.
Okay.
You don't exist.
LZANG.
Oh, LZ. LZ.
No, that is LZ.
Z, not G. Z.
Z, okay.
Still fine?
Shoot.
Sometimes the autofill doesn't work, so you just have to put the.
Yeah, it's later then.
NG?
Yeah, let's try that. Yeah.
Okay, it works.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
There you are.
Okay. Okay.
Not cached.
All right.
You've now added a node to the graph.
Yeah, because I'm pretty new.
Gig will stop. Yes. What?
Refuse.
Okay, this is kind of strange. What?
Why is DNS doing refused and
Why are they
Apparently
using
with
a dig
dig.
tool in a UDP test?
No, some of the EDE tests use dig.
No, I'm saying the conformance test.
you
Log
can
in.
assign this to me because I'm looking at conformance test.
Okay. So,
Thank you.
John. All right. Cool. Next one. Kube proxy cannot use IPVS mode. I think this is just input problem. Ooh, can anyone confirm? Is there a compatibility issue here? Anyone with experience with IPVS?
Anybody from IPVS team here?
What is that linked issue? Anything else we need to know? Is that PR? What is that?
703.
It's another issue.
Okay. It's like a dupe.
I feel like it must be some same module or something. I can look at it.
CentOS.
Maybe CentOS doesn't include that module by default?
Can you assign to Dujun?
Okay.
Although he's been something of a black hole for issues.
M1.
M1.
Oh,
without
I
him.
see. I see. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, he hasn't been around that much.
I can't say how much I appreciate GitHub names that I can pronounce.
Okay. Kube API server. IPv6 localhost.
Interesting. I start Kube API server and Docker. This seems like API machinery, isn't it?
Maybe it's the
Enabled to perform initial IP.
Localhost is resolving its IPv6 address,
yeah.
and it's trying to attach.
So what environment is?
Yeah, I think this is our. We should look at this, not API machinery.
So container Linux.
That's the core OS. You can assign to me. That's fine. I'll follow up on this one.
Okay. All right. Next one. Kube proxy, IPVS proxy mode. IPv6 no ports.
But do we support dual stack yet?
No,
right?
if I understand what they're saying,
They expect dual
they
stack.
expect to be able to use the v6 port, and it's probably sitting on the v6 port even though they don't want it to.
Yeah.
But you can assign this one to me. I think
Oh,
You already.
I assigned to June 4 months ago. Okay, assign it to me.
Basically, is this the thing that just sits on the port? You have to
Yeah,
bind-
that's what I was thinking, but I'm also reviewing the dual stack KEP, so I'll just work on that.
Is there anybody to work on the dual stack work?
Microsoft guys.
Oh, they want to do.
I don't know if any of them are here, but there's a very nice KEP in my queue that I need to think hard about.
What does fail to stat file system? What's the provider here? Calico.
This triggers a memory of some bug.
Bare metal.
Can we get a volunteer to triage and see if this is still an issue? My guess is, let's see when it was updated. Comes to 13 days ago. We're seeing this in OpenShift Origin, the OVS multi-tenant plugin. Anybody from OpenShift, since that's the most recent comment?
Well, yes, there's a couple of us on.
Dan, can we assign to you to farm out?
Sure.
And if it turns out it's not at all OpenShift-ish, then send it back.
Okay, next one. Kubelet not respected.
Oh, but this is like, it just doesn't look at it.
Yeah, it's just work as intended. Was it by design? Yeah. Okay, so can we close it?
Yeah, close.
Work as intended. Closing. Okay, kube proxy conflicts node names and host names.
Yes, lots of pieces of our system conflate node names and host names. You can.
Oh, this window. Oh, it's the. Oh, it's like
Windows.
oh, this guy did the job of figuring out where it is.
Is somebody from Windows around who can take a deeper look?
I don't know if it's restricted to Windows. Let's go up.
It's probably not.
It isn't, or it shouldn't be. Like you said, Tim, there's a lot of stuff that does this the wrong way.
Yeah.
Conflates the two. And usually you just override it with, like bind address or the host name override or whatever.
Right. Can you assign this one to me? I'd like to take a look at it.
Okay.
I touched something here recently and hit the same problem in a different component, so.
Okay, all right, next one. Kube cut on top. No, it's not working.
Time check, by the way, we got about 3 minutes left.
All
I
right.
know
Okay.
what this one is. You can assign it to the metrics team, but assign it to me. I'll find the person.
Okay. All right. Kube proxy failed to execute IP tables restore. Line 16.
Assign this to me. I've actually I was just touching code in there today.
Okay.
Well, they only have 192 gigs of memory, so that's probably.
I feel like they could do a better job of logging errors in this case.
What is the actual error here, out of curiosity?
I've seen occasionally. Oh, what is the actual error message?
Yeah, I mean, IP tables restore line 16 failed is at the end of it.
I think that's it. Like, we don't actually dump the error. We don't dump the IP tables, the state that we were trying to write when we have an error. And I ran into this just this morning, and so I added that, but I haven't sent any PRs yet.
So is this like, we think that it's writing the wrong IP tables restore lines and there's some formatting error in the restore?
That could be. I feel like I've also seen a couple of cases where IP tables would spuriously say that and then later accept it.
Got it. Okay.
I think the first thing would be just like, let's get some logging and,
yep.
And go. So I send this to me.
Okay.
So we do one more, two more.
Runtime network not ready.
Go down to the bottom. I might have commented on this one already. Maybe I didn't.
Which provider is this? What's
I think it's saying this to use Flannel.
Flannel? Okay.
So I think someone here commented.
Is it Flannel? Oh yeah, it's Flannel. Okay. So.
And someone says it's belonging to Signal. I'm not sure.
This is now 5 months old, but there were updates in February.
Anyone familiar with
I
the?
can ping them to see.
Okay.
I could try to take this
Sorry,
one too.
Casey, you want that one?
All
right.
Yeah, I could take this one.
Okay, one more. Last one. Probe HTTP headers. Hosts lost after redirect.
Oh, I remember this. I think I commented on it too. Scroll down.
Oh, it's a Golang bug.
They're saying you can submit a PR. That's what it's named. Maybe that's
Why don't you assign it to me? I'll follow up.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. We're at time. We made it through. What did we open up? They opened like 56. So we had we went through like 48 bugs.
Cool.
Nice work, people. And sorry, just in terms of stats, we pulled it up this morning. We had a net decrease from last week of 10, I think, and just as a starting point. And that included 7 or 8, 6 or 7, somewhere in that range, new untriaged bugs since 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
So we actually, put a small dent in it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Next week, everybody bring their volunteering shoes.
All right. So I think next on the list was from Christopher, if he's on the call, about
Yeah, I'm here.
PR around.
Just real quick, a reminder to take a look at that. I think it's mostly concerning some of the leads, but it has to do with the skew tests and kind of where to move forward with them. I found it while triaging, and I didn't really know what to do with it.
Which thing is this? I'm trying to get the agenda.
It's Kubernetes
This is the
website
version
issues
skew.
12322.
Someone have the agenda up.
Yep,
Share the screen.
will do. Can you see?
Yes. Well, we're looking at GitHub. I don't know if you wanted to share that browser tab.
Yeah, this is the one. Clarify kubeproxy SKU support and upgrade process. Did you want to see the agenda doc instead?
No, I don't think I even saw this issue. Can you, whoever's got the screen up, can you assign this to me?
I do not appear to have assigned privileges in Kubernetes/website.
Oh,
Website. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay.
Should I just tag you on it?
No, I've got it here. I just.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. I'll talk to Jordan about what he wants there.
All right. Let's see. Next, we've got Cody Baker.
Hi there. So the issue we have here is that kubeproxy has an optimization which rewrites traffic that's headed towards the load balancer from within the cluster to the backing service. But per the recommendation, we implement proxy protocol on that load balancer. And if the traffic's redirected without ever hitting the load balancer, the proxy protocol header is not added. There was a similar, the request was originally created by an Alibaba cloud user, and they have TLS termination at their load balancer, and we do as well as an option. But proxy protocol is another concern there. And yeah, so we're trying to figure out what we'd like to propose a PR and address this, but want to kind of find the right solution internally to make that work.
So just to clarify, this is the service load balancer, not ingress, right?
Yes.
Okay. And which rule is, so there's a rule that's sending it to the back end for the load balancer IP?
Right. Yeah. If the load balancer status object has a IP address specified, IPVS and IP tables handlers in kubeproxy will intercept and rewrite that destination to the services cluster IP.
I have a very clear memory of fighting with this to make it do the opposite of that. I thought.
Yeah, go ahead.
I swear I remember beating on IP tables until it would not do that, so that it would force load balancer traffic to go out from the machine to force it for exactly this sort of issue.
It's also worth mentioning AWS has support for both proxy protocol and TLS termination.
Right.
LB, but they don't hit it because they specify a host name as the return value in load balancer status, whereas we're looking at specifying an IP address.
But isn't this a layering violation because you're kind of mutating?
It's a consideration, but the recommendation on the Kubernetes webpage right now is that for source IP identification that we use proxy protocol.
Well, you don't really have any other choice, right? Because if you're
right,
blended as a proxy, right? I'm happy to look at PRs here or to look at further diagnostics. I swear I fought with this issue before. If you want to dig in a little bit and then reach out to me or file a bug and we can talk about it, and I'll give me a chance to look at my history too and see if I can remember what happened with this.
Okay, and I guess I should say also there's kind of two different directions we were considering taking this. One, just adding a flag to kubeproxy, which would disable that optimization entirely. Obviously default to the current behavior. And then the second one being changing that load balancer status object or the service itself to have a internal traffic policy option that would default to the current behavior, but have a different behavior that allowed that hairpin at the load balancer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know which is the righter answer. Less flags is more better in general. Yeah, let's do a little bit of the homework, or if you've done the homework, go ahead and open a bug and tag me or assign me, don't tag me, and we'll go from there.
Okay, there's a bug there. We'll open PRs on that though.
Oh sure, if you got PRs, even better. I'll have to do our.
No, we can do that. All right.
So last time I think we saw this was coming from an on-prem user, and then I think the hack was to inject IP tables rules to basically force the destination to be like, for instance, if the destination fall into the load balancer IPs, then do no track. So it will just go right out. I think that was the hack.
I remember fighting with this on GCE because GCE assigns the load balancer IP as a local address, and I wanted it to go out to the load balancer, but it's possible that I never made it work or that we wanted to undo it for some reason. So let's look at what you've got and go from there.
Sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cody. Next, is anyone actively working on IPv6 dual stack? I think we said earlier that Microsoft are.
Yeah, I've got an updated KEP from Lockie and Cal at Microsoft.
Do you want to paste that link into the agenda, Tim, if you have it handy?
I don't have it handy, but I can get it.
Okay. Well, you keep talking. I'll go find it.
That's fine.
Okay.
So yes, I think the answer is yes. The KEP's back on me. It's a lengthy KEP, so anybody who wants to help by reviewing it is totally welcome to.
Cool. Next steps for kube proxy cleanup fix. Valerie and Andrew.
That's literally the cleanup code.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Valerie, do you want to give this up, or do you want me to?
Sure. So we've had the series of issues that came from how inherently bug and error prone the cleanup process is, because each mode has some intersections with how the rules work. We decided kind of at the last meeting and put a cap in to just remove the cross-mode auto cleanup. So now if you want to switch kubeproxy between different modes, you have to explicitly run like the cleanup single run or restart your node. So we have a PR up that is having some not very obvious test failures, but other than that, we're very close to having that done.
Yeah, so cherry pick deadline for 1.14.1 is tomorrow. So if we want to get that patch release in, we got to merge it ideally today. Tim, do you still want to go with that route, or do you want?
If we can get it in, I mean, I looked at the code and it was shockingly straightforward. The only comment I had was something about an error message string on one of the flags, right?
Yeah, I made sure that the IPVS cleanup was properly deprecated now that it doesn't do anything.
Okay, then I will go and approve it.
There's just a matter of making sure the test passed though, but it's like a crash during cleanup, which seems maybe unrelated.
Yeah, it does not seem like your problem.
Do we also want to backport this to 1.13, 1.12, and 1.11?
Seems plausible, yeah. I don't see why not. It's a legitimate bug.
Okay,
maybe cool. Backport it, but not super quickly. I'm just a little bit worried that because this is a big change, if someone has a very bizarre setup that was relying on this, it would cause issues. So kind of give it time to bake in a 14 patch and then push it back.
Sure. I'm skeptical that that's actually the case, but this seems like such a corner case niche functionality that I think you'll be fine. But you're right. Strange things happen. I've approved.
Okay.
Yes, next we've got service garbage collection with finalizers.
Yeah, so this is just, Andrew and I were discussing this. Basically, we should be putting finalizers on our service objects to get the cloud providers to clean stuff up. And we're going to take this up in 1.15.
Okay.
All right. Is there any call to action on that one?
If this is important to you, then look for it.
Okay.
It will affect all the cloud providers, so that's one thing.
Yeah, I guess one thing worth mentioning for this is that in one release, we're not actually supporting finalizers. We're just going to add the code to handle finalizers so that if users roll back, they don't have services stuck with finalizers, but not the controllers handling it. So it's probably going to be a multi-release feature that we're going to add incrementally.
And finally, we have the status of bandwidth limiting.
Yeah, I responded to that issue. As far as I know, it should still work. I think it's just more of a debugging thing at this point, unless anybody else knows exactly what's going on there.
So I tried on one image. So the Kubernetes it cannot passing the return values from TC. So I don't know whether it's due to our version is different or it's out of date. So we just want to check what's the status of it. So as long as I know it's got implemented in Kubernetes and the bandwidth plugin. So we want to know the future plan and also it's done with the pod annotation. So if we update the annotation, it's not got picked up by the plugin. So we want to know any future plan for this.
It doesn't belong as an annotation. We don't have a general way of making plugins do this right now. Or do we have a use case that's driving this? This is one of those features that was added really early without use cases.
We do have user cases. Someone were retesting this. I can dig that out to you. We have a bark and we have to record that. So someone do want this annotation. And then the problem with GKE especially is that for cars it's fine, but it's not supported, but it's not broken either. So, but if the basis is Ubuntu and then you have that annotation, like the file cannot come up.
Okay.
Because it cannot pass through the TC output.
So I guess I would say that's a bug. Like if TC versions changed and we need to change the parsing of that, then we should just fix that. Whether we want to keep this feature or this annotation sort of for the future it probably requires more discussion with use cases and trade-offs.
Yes. I agree that we should first fix that to at least make the path come out, maybe ignore that annotation. We probably need to release those levels because maybe not so many people use it. But on the other hand, we probably need to think about if we want to support it. I mean, if we do, what we should do because there is customers.
Yeah, if we want to support it, we should figure out how to make it properly part of the API, and that means what it means for all downstream plugin implementers.
Is there a place where we park these API bugs, basically? Because this is just, it's like an annotation, but
what do you mean?
Here, it's like, it should ideally, if it's a real feature, it should move towards non-annotation.
So we as the SIG need to decide if we think that it's a real feature that we can really support. And to do that, I think we need to do a little bit of thinking about how would it look as a real feature and what does it mean for non-KubeNet or non-containery or non-namespacey based environments. What does it mean for other plugin implementers and those sorts of things?
I guess I had a meta question. Okay. Where do we park stuff like that?
Issues.
But they get closed in a month.
So freeze it. Set lifecycle frozen.
Okay, maybe it's worth filing an issue.
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, people don't use lifecycle frozen enough. Like if you're filing a bug that is really a bug and needs to be addressed, set it frozen.
All right, I'll do that then.
All right, that was the last item on the agenda.
Can I throw out one more quick topic?
Of course.
We actually had a meeting last week to talk about our SIG Network maintainer track session. It's an 80-minute session in Barcelona, split into two halves. One is the introductory session and the other is the deep dive session. We started an outline of this, and we will hopefully refine the outline and start turning it into slides in the next couple of weeks. I don't know what time it's at, but if anybody's going to be in Barcelona and wants to come and dig deep, what we're proposing for the intro is an overview of some of the basic concepts, services and DNS and endpoints and kube proxy and ingress and how the pieces all fit together, but at a very high level. And then for the deep dive, we've proposed 4 topics. 1, ingress v1 and the path to GA. 2, the DNS node cache. 3, service topology. And 4, IPv6 and dual stack. I'm not sure we'll get to all 4 topics inside the 40-minute half, but we're going to start writing up slides for that. So anybody who wants to help is welcome to help. Otherwise, we'll just chip away at it.
If somebody wants to help, should they just reach out to you?
Yes, if somebody wants to help, they should reach out to me or Valerie, and we can get you access to the doc. The doc's a little rough right now, so I won't open it up to the world yet, but we can do that hopefully before the next time we meet. Okay.
Great. Anything else for the last 10 minutes?
More triage?
Works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get them done. There were like 6 or 8 tabs left in that window. Let's knock them down.
Let's see. All right, let me share the screen again. Okay, the first one. Network should set TCP close wait timeout.
That's what we do.
It's a test flake.
Oh, I see. What? A to I invalid syntax.
Ooh. Parsing quote quote. Cool.
Entry has disappeared.
Okay.
Oh man. I wrote this test. You can sign it to me.
Signed to Bowie.
Okay, all right. Next one, IPVS defaults, sysctl and configurations.
This seems more like an RFE.
It's sort of halfway between an RFE and a proposal.
Yeah.
Oof, so many ups.
Okay. I mean, the right people are on it. It looks like it maybe doesn't even need triage at this point. Oh, can you freeze it? Lifecycle frozen and remove triage.
Frozen.
Space.
Looks like there's a new sysctl to improve pod termination merged.
What?
Do you see that commit up there? kubeproxy/IPVS.
Oh, no, okay.
But that's not our repo.
Yeah,
what is kubeproxy/IPVS?
kubeproxy/IPVS.
Oh, it is us.
Okay.
Oh. I thought it was a separate. I thought somebody had a new GitHub org or something. That was terrifying for just a moment.
Okay. Oh, did it take it off? Let's see. Proxy currently incompatible with IP tables.
Yeah.
So this might be an interim version of IP tables 1.8. And if this isn't fixed already in IP tables itself, then it needs to be fixed there and not in kubeproxy.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember this. Can you see if
there was a CoreOS Go IP tables issue a long time ago, like last fall. But that got fixed upstream in IP tables. And then CoreOS, I don't know if they backed out that workaround or not.
Okay. Can you assign this to me and I'll follow up and close since I at least remember it?
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, Tim, just to let you know, if there is anything needed from IP tables upstream, let me know.
Okay.
We have people that will fix that since we are mostly responsible for the IP tables, NF tables thing.
Yay.
Okay, cool. Trace works about enable the IPVS mode for the kubeproxy by default. Oh, okay. So this is a tracing bug.
No.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just a tracking bug.
Yeah, tracking umbrella.
Any triage.
Right.
Okay.
So you just remove triage.
Oh, triage. All right. Uppercase characters, but okay.
Right. Didn't
I close this? I mean, obviously I didn't, but. Yeah, I think just close this. There's really no way that we can fix this, and we don't really want to anyway.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And then switch.
This doesn't seem like a network thing, does it? I mean, it's DNS related, but.
This should be a CAP proposal from the other side as a feature request.
Yes. Is it really our problem, or should the
I don't think it's our problem.
Yeah, I really don't think so either.
So not network? So then,
No, I would just say I think this is not a Kubernetes problem. I think like if your image wants NS switch, you should provide NS switch.
Yeah, build your image with its dependencies.
Control plane image flag if the NS switch is not identical to which. Are those our control plane images or are those? What are they saying?
We should fix our images. Like, I feel like this is an image problem.
okay. These image should have it. The closing?
Yep. Can always be reopened. Two more. Changing node cider mask size leads to pod ciders overlapping. Yeah, that's working as intended.
So this should not change, right? This should not be touched after. Yeah, it's immutable. Okay. Okay, so work as intended.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Delete a node and restart.
Yeah, the range allocator doesn't work if you change that flag, I don't think.
Yeah, it doesn't
Yeah,
scan
don't close it. Just assign it to me. I'll respond.
Okay.
Thanks.
Oops. Okay. No balancer target port, not forwarding the daemon set host port. If port not same as host port. What?
Sounds intended.
Yeah, for sure. Right? It's like the host port and just forward to contain target port, not the host port.
Oh, Tim has really responded to that one.
Did I?
Yeah, responding to that, right?
Scroll down. Is there any follow-up to that?
No.
Nope.
Close.
Okay.
Woo!
All right, last one. Done.
We made it
All
through,
right, 50 more. We got 3 minutes.
We made it through 50 old bugs and 6 or 7 new ones. That's the highlight of my week, y'all.
Yep, slowly but surely.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
See you all next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.